Welcome to Grit and Moonlight. I'm Becky and I'm here to help you build a calm nervous system and a strong body so you can come home to yourself. Today we're doing flexibility under load, slow strength through long ranges so that you can be the strongest, best, most awesome version of you. For today's session, you can be in the gym using a cable machine or you can be at home using bands. There are variations for both. Prescribed rep rates are going to be between 6 and 8, but I want you to understand how your body feels, not to push it, especially if this is your first session. This is repeatable. This is not a one and done. So come back, do it again, see how you can progress. Ignore how many reps I do. I'm here purely to give you coaching cues and give you progressions so that you can lengthen, strengthen and feel incredible. With that said, let's get into the warm-up. 90s. Make sure that your feet are just about 1 foot distance from your knee before you start to rock. You will move forward. It's just what happens. Don't worry about it. Do 4 each side of those. Then we're going to come into what has been called the world's greatest stretch, which is just a lizard to twisted lizard reach. Lizard to twisted lizard reach. Notice my knee is bent here. Now we're going to extend, so waking that back leg up. We're trying to think about lengthening through those hamstrings, flossing out that hamstring. Now dropping the hips to the floor, get a bit of lumbar extension there and a bit of thoracic extension. World's greatest stretch or lizard reach on the other side. We're going to do 4 each side on this side. Again, notice the back leg is bent. That is intentional. That is on purpose. Have a rest. Drop knee down and pick it back up. Back knee down, pick it back up. Back knee down and pick it back up. Then we're going to send those hips forward. Send your other foot to meet your front foot. We're going to take a wide squat stance. Malasana yogi squat, if you will. Now, notice here, what I'm trying to do is lengthen my tailbone back to the back of the room. So tailbone lifts and we lower. So lazy squat here with a lift. Now we're going to do some reaches. This used to be my least favourite exercise. It is now not my least favourite exercise. It's very good for you. Make friends with it. That's all I'm going to say. If this feels like a lot to start with, just know wherever you are is fine. It's perfect. You'll get there. Okay, just take a sort of wide-ish leg forward fold into your yogi squat for a couple of reps here before we start to work into the hamstrings. Our workout loaded mobility stuff is going to be very hamstring focused, so we're going to do one of my favorites, zombie walks, elephant walks into a zombie. If your hands need to stay on the shins, they can, otherwise bring them to the floor. Let your head be heavy. Now we're going to just roll up the spine, let everything be nice and heavy, and then zombie roll back down again. Taking those elephant walk movements as we're going all the way back up and all the way back down. Body wants to be nice and loose here. This is about flossing out those nerves, warming up into the hamstrings. It is not about doing anything that is going to be mind-blowing. This is a warm-up. Okay, so for your next set of 90s, I want you to take your feet as wide apart as you can, and we're just going to rock into those hips, change legs without moving your feet if you can. You can. I know you can. Take it each side, and then we're just going to do those rocks. If your hands need to be behind you, that is absolutely fine. What I would suggest is you start with hands behind and then you work your way a bit more forward, back into your world's greatest stretch. Same again as the other side. The back knee can be bent, don't worry about that. In fact, I'd prefer it was bent. Then we're going to bend and straighten. And I want you to notice what you're feeling when you're here. Also, if your elbow doesn't find the floor, that is okay, don't worry. You'll probably find on the second set that you are able to get your elbow a little bit closer to the floor if you're not quite at the floor. But if it doesn't go all the way, that's okay. I promise you, if you do this again at the end of your session, you're going to find that it touches the floor, amongst other things that also touch the floor. So we're just going to take that Malasana wide yogi squat, bit of movement here. 90-90 stretch. So we're loading this with a small amount of weight for the first set. Your feet still want to be about a foot distance away from your back knee. As we're turning, we're thinking about letting the body be really long as the cable machine drags you to it, and then we're thinking about rowing to the hip. So notice my elbows going back almost behind me. We want to think about driving that front knee down into the ground and just breathing as we move. If you can move to the next position without moving your feet, I'm not going to say you get an extra point because there are no points. However, you should feel very good about yourself. So we're going to do the same on the other side. This is just a backside view so that you can see what it looks like from behind. You can see where my foot is behind me. It's not 90 degrees. It's ever so slightly, my foot's coming towards my bum. That's going to stop the cable machine from dragging you in. It's also going to give you a little bit more internal rotation on that near side hip. Upcoming is a variation for if you are at home. So if you're at home, you're going to get your band. You're going to put it around something like a table leg or a chair leg or something like that. You're still going to come into your 90-90 position, and you're still going to do the exact same movement. The exact same. If you want to make it harder, you're going to switch around a little bit and you're going to twist a little bit deeper. If you want to make it easier, make your band longer. So make it like this, and then you can adjust the resistance accordingly. For this one, if you're at home and you want to use a band, we're going to bring the band around the chair leg or banister or whatever the thing is that you have handy. This is going to be the hardest variation. Obviously you can choose what kind of band you use. The thicker the band, the harder it's going to be. And we're just going to pull forward and you're going to use the band to row back up and come back up. Obviously this is not going to give you the same amount of pull forward as a cable machine will, but what you can do is if you get to the shortened position, you can work your way up the rope and then come forward. Make sure if you're working your way up the rope that we're not rounding here, tailbone lifted. I want you to think, and this is going to sound like a strange thing to say, lady parts to the floor. So you want to feel like you're tilting your pelvis enough that the lady parts are coming to the floor and not your butt cheeks. So get off your butt cheeks. If you're in the gym, it's exactly the same thing. We're aiming for length through the spine. So I'm trying to lead here with my shoulders and my chest, not trying to round the lower part of the spine. If, like me, when you're doing this, the upper part of your spine slightly rounds, that's okay. We're not worried about that. We're still thinking about lady parts to the floor. We're trying to keep those legs as straight as possible. If you need to put dumbbells by your feet, that is absolutely fine. However, I will say the challenge over time is to build this up so that you don't need to use those dumbbells. We're trying to build strength in your adductors, strength in those inner thighs, strength in your lower back, and make these reps as clean as possible with a nice hold at the end. When you're holding, trying to lengthen through the breath, trying to lengthen through that spine. This one is going to burn your quads. It's for your quad connectors. So put something. Doesn't need to be a foam roller. Foam roller works really well. So does a mat. You're going to take your hands as far forward as you can. If you are not feeling this as you lengthen your quad and kick yourself in the face, it's because your hands are not far forward enough. So take them further forward than you think. You can always take them back again. No, you can't. This one requires so much foot stability. So good luck. You're going to come into just a standing position. You're going to send your back foot, the foot not facing the cable or band, just back so that you can put your toes on the floor. As you twist, everything's going to want to pull you towards your cable or your band. Your job is to feel your glutes stabilize through that front foot. The back foot's not actually doing anything apart from stopping me falling over. Now, quick change. We're going to see the other side. Same exact movement as you would expect. Allowing your body to twist as much as you can. See how much my hips are twisting towards the camera as we are here. You're allowing the whole butt cheek, because I'm sciencey, to lengthen in this stretched and strong position. Now for my girlies who want to learn handstand, this is my favourite drill for handstands. I don't love a wall facing drill just because it teaches you how to do banana back, and it took me a really long time not to do banana back. So you're going to come as close to the wall as you need to feel safe, and you're just going to let your kick up leg, so whichever leg you would normally want to kick up with, and if you don't know, just go with whatever leg goes that way. You're going to take it overhead, and that's going to let you gently, and I don't want a big massive kick, although you probably will start that way, just gently tap in the wall until you find some balance. Have fun! Repeating that same 90-90 again, just this time I want you to go a little bit further in your twist if you can, and be a bit more explosive as you come out. So this time notice I'm really thinking about rowing quite fast back to square one. Really think about driving that front knee down toward the ground. Don't worry that it doesn't touch. It won't touch. That's okay. That back hand that's resting on my thigh is there because I don't know what else to do with it. So you will also find the same thing. Your back hand, you're like, what do I do? Don't worry about it. Just let it be where it's going to be. Try not, however, to press your thigh down. So we're not trying to create tension other than the tension that's being caused by this row. Then back into this pancake stretch. I'm showing you the front angle, which is something that I have been practicing for a long time, so don't worry if yours doesn't look like this. Point through the toes, leading with the chest. So you can now see, where it wasn't quite so obvious in the last video, that I am leading boobs first. Not that I've got very many. I'm okay with it. It stops me having a lot of back issues, but we're starting to lengthen through those arms, lengthen through that spine, and again we're trying to think about being sort of explosive. I don't want it to be too much, but I do want a bit of drive as we sit back into it. Let yourself be long for a couple of breaths on your last rep. You will feel the difference. See if when you're here you can think about engaging those toes a little bit more, engaging the legs a little bit more. Now that you've found your feet, this one should feel more stable. So whether you're using a band or whether you're using the cable machine, this one shouldn't feel quite so alien, especially if it's not the first time you've done this exercise or it's not the first time that you're going through this set. What I do want you to think about is driving that back knee down towards the ground. Sometimes when I see people do this in person, when I can tell them not to, they kind of go into like a half lunge. I want you to think about getting all the way down. The more further down you can get, the more twist you'll get through your glute, and the more you will feel the results. Maybe not today. You will feel it today. You'll probably feel it tomorrow. Same again with these leg lifts. Move your hands further forward. If the first set didn't quite cause a burny sensation in the bit where your quad meets your knee, again, your hands weren't far enough forward. I would also expect that you would be able to creep your hands a little bit further forward, set 2 anyway. But the most important thing is that you're trying to lengthen that leg and not just lift your foot up. So I want pointed toes, and we're going to add a little hold on this last set just to extra burn those quad connectors. Great for your knees. For my handstand girlies, we're going to come back to our wall facing drill. This one just shows from a slightly different angle. My leg was over my head, and now I've patiently brought them together. As soon as you feel that balance, and please, 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 if this is you just starting out, if you find balance in a split, stay there. The most important thing when you're learning handstand is being on your hands and noticing when you find balance. We can move later, we can bring the feet together later. You'll find it much easier to find a way of moving through the legs and moving into a split eventually and working back down to press if you can find that balance in the first place. Trust me, this is years of experience. Last set of everything. I'm not going to explain it again. It just wants to be a similar intensity. Notice if you can go a little bit further. Notice if anything starts to feel a little bit more difficult. You don't have to do anything about it. I just want you to notice what's going on in your body. Same with your final set of your pancake folds. Try and make them a little bit slower if you have time and you would like to. The slower you can go, the more stretch you'll get and the more strength you will build. Time under tension is very important, especially in these end range movements. Just see how you feel when you're here. If it feels like, and you might find that you want to put the weight up on the last set, please feel free. Even if you want to put the weight up on the very last rep or two, and then hold at the end just with that extra weight. You'll be surprised how quickly you can increase the load in this particular exercise and this particular set of exercises, in fact. Last set of your superhero lunges. There's a story behind why I call it a superhero lunge. I'll tell you if you want me to. Drop a comment. Anyway, it involves my nephew and Batman, just a spoiler. If you feel like you're falling all over the shop when you get to this last set, that's normal. Just feel into your feet. You're getting tired by this point. We've done a lot of work through the hips, through the lower body. all I can say to you at this point is big toe, little toe, and heel. I know you're sick of me saying it, but the more you can find the ground, the more you can find your feet, the stronger your glutes will get, the stronger your legs will get, the healthier your knees will be, and the happier you will be into the rest of your life. If you want any little stretches just to finish, please feel free to bob on the Move and Breathe video. That will be a really good one for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes just of movement to finish off your set. Otherwise, this is a stretch workout. You literally don't need to add any more stretch. It's just a nervous system reset. I hope that you enjoyed your first Calm Strength workout. I enjoyed being with you. Until next time, I hope that the rest of your day is filled with magic and sunshine and things that taste good and things that smell nice and things that make you laugh. Until next time.